John 6:31. Hoi pateres hemon, ta mana, ephagon inte eremo, kathos esten gegramenon, arton ektu uranu, edoken autois phagain. Here Jesus is continuing to be interrogated and harassed by this crowd that he fed, and now they've turned somewhat hostile, and they are demanding other things from him. And they say to him, this is the group that's followed him after the miraculous feeding, our fathers ate manna, right? Ephagon is a second aorist active indicative, third person plural from estheo. Our fathers ate manna in the wilderness, just as it is written. This is the periphrastic construction where you have a form of ami followed by a participle. Very common way of quoting the Old Testament to use the perfect passive of grapho. Here you see the reduplication. You see that men morpheme. Remember, when you see men, think about men sitting in the middle of the pew, being passive, not doing their part. That's a middle passive participle sound unit right there. With the reduplication, that's perfect. Just as it is written, just as it has been written, right? It's a very, very fitting to quote Scripture this way, because the Scripture stands, it's written in the past, it stands authoritatively written. And then this is probably a composite quotation from several places in the New Testament. Several places in the Old Testament. He says, bread from heaven he gave to them to eat, right? The edoken is just from didomi. Even though that's a kappa, it's not a perfect. This is because many me verbs use a kappa for their aorist. This is an aorist form of didomi, third person singular. He gave to them bread from heaven to eat. That's the second aorist infinitive of estheo. In the very helpful Baylor Handbook series, the author of the John volume, Lydia Novakovic, talks about what possible Old Testament text this could be drawn from. She cites Nehemiah 9:15, Exodus 16:4, Psalm 77:24, all out of the Septuagint, and that Psalm 77:24 passage is the same text that we find in the Masoretic text, in the Hebrew text of Psalm 78:24.